definitely still, for many people, be the best Danish team. But Dignitas, they're definitely moving in the right direction. They're getting their way up that ladder towards the top.
We actually do see the pistol round coming up, with Kenias being already down, and Envyus looking to break into this A site.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, so here we go into the best of 5 grand finals between Dignitas and Envyus. Cobblestone is going to be up first, and Dignitas, with that first kill, are going to be in good shape. However, 3 players over on the B side is going to give up A for now. The retake is a very real possibility, but MSL has met his fate due to Kiyoshima's Tech 9. MBK with the headshot. They'll be hoping that that is a repeat going forward in this best of 5. Rubino will answer back. There is no defuse kit, so they're going to have to get a move on here and start to connect some more headshots. Oh, Apex is so low. He's down to 5 HP. Happy needs to do something for this position. He finally goes down, and now it's all on to Apex, who gets headshotted from Kirby. 2 kills for him, and a defuse to boot. Dignitas with the successful retake.
Yeah, it didn't look good for them in the beginning because they lost both players in the A site. But, oh wow, apparently there are a few of its fans outside the window, I guess. Looking at MBK's comments in the chat.
Damn.
I guess that's going to be solved pretty quickly.
How do you fix that, though? Do you just, like, drop kick everybody outside? You just line them up and give them one big drop kick?
That's one way to do it, I guess.
There are some pretty scary-looking security guards around here,
oh, yeah.
so
yeah.
I guess if they
but
approach
the guy at the door, he's the real MVP of this tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
There's this security guy that just sits at the door
literally
the entire
for 12 to 15 hours. He sits at the door and he like buzzes people in.
So if you're listening, security guy,
you're the real
door
MVP.
Guy, you are the MVP. You're the man.
Well, I didn't see him today. I think maybe
no, he got replaced.
It's because of all the hard work, dude.
Oh well, I guess so.
I hope he's getting paid.
Yeah,
well.
I do hope so. We can see Envyus cracking a smile here and there, probably looking out the window at the fans.
Yeah, it's important to mention that you can't see from this perspective, but the players are kind of sat with their backs to the walls. You can see, and then ahead of them are these panels of windows.
Yeah.
So they probably can see fans or whatnot out there. Although, is it that much different to if you sat on, well, I guess if you sat on a stage, then the lights are kind of on you and you can't really see up to the crowd, but still.
Yeah.
If they knock on the window and such, it definitely could put you off. Either way, Envyus are back into the game alongside Dignitas. Tech 9s and Kevlar will be picked up. This is a lot of firepower still in the hands of the Frenchman. And it would appear that drop zone is where they would like to aggress. Although Tensky is in a pretty forward position, so if he starts to wrap himself around the back of Envyus, that could start to be an issue. Maybe he's not even going to be required because the rest of his team is holding down perfectly. I say that, but Envyus have bagged themselves 2 kills in retaliation. Happy will get flashed. He was looking to drop out there and try and land himself some kills. MSL on 4 HP has to be oh so careful. Bomb has been planted now. Oh my goodness, Kenny with that Tech 9 headshot put so much pressure onto Dignitas. It's another one for him. Oh, it's gone so wrong for Dignitas. It's all on Tensky with his MP9. And it looks like Happy is going to be able to get the better of him by just coming around the corner. Has given his position away. Tensky doesn't have a defuse kit. And so he just has to guess. He has to charge right in, hope for the best, see if he can get that lucky headshot. On to Happy. Spray comes through and he has picked it up.
He doesn't have defuse though.
But he doesn't have the time.
Oh, wow. I do believe, I actually wanted to commend Dignitas for kind of staying together, sticking together in drop zone and trying to take out Happy. But he just didn't let them. Happy didn't let them kill him. And then they were completely spread out, actually. One guy ended up pushing site. One guy ended up pushing kind of around towards the drop zone. So they were totally spread out towards the end there. So I do think that was a mistake from Dignitas in the retake because it was a 3v2.
Kenny S with his 2 Tech 9 headshots though,
yeah.
that 3-on-2 was absolutely huge. That was the defining moment of round 2. And a pretty brutal result for Dignitas because now they decide, okay, let's fight fire with fire. Let's get some of our own upgraded pistols with Kevlar behind it. 2 M4s. And it's all off the result of saving those weapons, right? If they don't save the weapons, it's unlikely that they take any weapons through into this one or any Kevlar.
Yeah, definitely makes sense for them to try and bring it back the same way Envyus did and break them once more. Because, oh wow.
Ooh, hello. And BK with the Glil. Kirby is going to go for the aggressive stance, but he gets found out from Kenny S. And I guess I can understand the idea there, realizing that you've just lost one of your players. Try and at least get something done in retaliation. Maybe they line up and you spray 2 players out. The issue is by him pushing in, he's just weakened his team to a point where it's extremely unlikely to get anything done. Tensky, the last line of defense on the site itself, is going to get the first kill, and that's the bomb dropped as well, but now his position's been given away. Tensky with a second player. This is actually doable, and he's lost no health in the process.
I don't think they'll expect him here. Oh, well, he's coming back now, so.
The time as well, Striker, 25 seconds. Envyus is going to have to start to get a move on here. Tensky could get caught from the right-hand side. There's a player up on balcony. The flashbang has connected, and there is Happy. Dignitas doing a much better job of that 3-on-5 than I originally gave them credit for. But still, the end result is the same. Envyus will take it.
Yeah, as you said, Kirby's thinking there is understandable. But Envyus are a very smart team and are very experienced, so they know once they get the pick and they see that it's forced by, then Dignitas are forced to make a move. And they just were smart enough to actually stay behind and wait for that push from Kirby. So there's definitely a good amount of patience from Envyus. Now it's a full eco from Dignitas, understandably.
Yep, just the one P250 for Tensky. Because he picked up those 2 kills, he could afford to take this for himself and still be in good shape to buy up.
Yeah, they're just looking to get maybe a couple of kills here. I don't think they're expecting to actually win this round. Not even in the best opportunities.
Absolutely not. They're just hoping to take some weapons away from Envyus. That's really all they can hope for.
And they even have that one P250 back in the keys. Oh wow, there's one. But it's probably going to be it, unless one of the players gets a jump on Envyus. Then this should be pretty much everything they could do. And look at Happy, being the sneaky little guy that he is.
Snake in the grass, just waiting. And that's going to be a reoccurring theme, by the way, guys. Happy does this a hell of a lot. Mirage, every single round, he was just chilling on the other side of the map and then coming through underpass. So that's something to watch out for. Mirage, of course, being the second map of today's proceedings.
Yeah, Envyus' pick, understandably, once again. So now we're going to see a full buy from Dignitas. I do not believe there will be an op, and they actually don't like the op here that much. Usually it's MSL picking it up, but MSL usually is around the pit side. He actually does play it very consistently. I think MSL is one of the underrated guys here.
For sure, but look how aggressive. Apex is just going to charge straight out. Nobody from the CTs watching whatsoever on platform, and Envyus, they just got so much real estate for free. This is as easy a round as you could hope for. Kirby, as good as he is, we know he's capable of crazy clutches, but you're coming out into a bottleneck through doors. There's just no hope for you. Envyus, what a call that ends up being. Just charge platform, get Apex out there, get the entries.
And that's usually why you end up stacking the B in 4 people towards the first, let's say, 20 seconds, because it takes much less time to rush the B side than the A side. So what you end up doing is have 4 people on the B side, or at least 3 towards the beginning, just because of that one rush through long. And they actually had 2 people towards drop zone. So there was nobody really to do anything. And you end up leaving the A side completely open, B side actually. And that was a pretty much clean round from Envyus after that.
It's such a ballsy call as well, just the idea of rushing plat with very little utility. I think they threw a flashbang over and that was about
Almost nothing. Maybe they actually did see Dignitas doing this before in their previous cobbles. And realized that it could be something they could use.
There's the leaning tower of Dignitas. Oh, hello. I did not see Rubino surviving that whatsoever.
No.
And in actual fact, he nearly claimed the frag onto Happy. Goes back in for seconds and will finish his dinner this time. Dignitas started things off decently in the round with a conflict P250 frag, and now it's just down to Happy to clean up in drop zone, Dignitas will concede a 5th round, and Envyus with about as good a start as you could hope for.
Yeah, definitely 5-1. Oh, from MSL. Yeah, I think he did realize that he got stuck somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's going to be... Oh, wow. I was going to say that's going to be it for him because Apex ended up flanking. He somehow got the kill.
If he can save this AK, this could afford him an AWP as well into the next round. Could drop them by the AWP for himself.
Yeah, let's see. The buy should be good enough here, definitely, because it is the
full round loss bonus coming in very shortly. So
exactly, that's the 3.4k.
Before this round's even going to end, he's on 3.2k, so he can have more than enough for an AWP. He can drop the AK. That's if they want to go for the AWP, but I feel like, as you said before, you'd expect MSL to take that for himself at some point.
It's pretty interesting that they actually ended up not buying vests in this round. They just want as much much money as possible here. Pretty much everything being bought on the Dignitas side.
Actually, not going for the AWP.
No.
They had more than enough funds to go for it.
They just do not like it too much. I don't think they use the AWP very much on Cobble. They generally don't use the AWP that much, which is why they also don't play Dust 2 at all, because they do know that there's no dedicated AWPer. Usually it is MSL picking that one up.
I was just curious if they were going to try and mix things up, because these rounds so far have definitely not been going the way they were hoping for. This time Envyus with a slower push onto the site. Config was there behind the box on platform trying to stop anything he could, but as soon as he falls down, the defense just crumbles afterwards. The B site has been claimed from Envyus, who stick the French flag into the soil. And Apex's kill on Takia B probably signifies the end of this round, or have I spoke too soon? Because Tensky and MSL are there. It's on Kenny S.
He has a great position.
He does with the AWP. This is almost the perfect position for the AWP, but that flashbang lands right between his eyes. The problem now for him is they're going to peek him right at the same time. Tech9 comes out, one frag will fall his way, but Dignitas, credit to them, they played that 1v2 perfectly.
Yeah, they just stuck together, and that's it. That's what you need to do against Kenny S with an AWP. Just make him either miss that one shot or just bait that shot. Even if one ends up dying, the other one should be able to return the frag, and that's exactly what happened. And they also stuck to that wall so that he would need to peek out as much as possible for him to actually get a frag. And that's what he ended up doing. It was very smart from the couple of players on Dignitas' side.
AWP was picked up as well, and MSL would be rocking with it this time. And he's moving through danger towards mid. But again, Envyus, not interested in A, it would have seemed. They feel like B is ripe for the taking, and they have had a lot of success over on this side. Config again in almost a carbon copy position, I should say. Yeah, in the cocky position, mate. Oh, well. That's great. It's great English. It really is top quality backshot. You can't do anything, though. It's the exact same result.
Yeah, it looks like
Apex.
Yeah, it looks like these two rounds actually end up pretty much in the same way. But there is Happy, who definitely has a lot of time to actually pick off some of these Dignitas players, and it is gonna make a lot of difference because they did win. And
important to mention as well, the round loss bonus has
there's the reset, and Dignitas will end up being completely broke unless they actually save these 3 weapons, which could allow them to actually buy pretty much fully. Well, not fully. They're still gonna have 2 players on not great buys.
But it certainly allows them to have a fighting chance into round number 9.
Like, the thing is, they actually lost 4 players in the round before, so let's see.
They can drop 2 for masses if they choose
could,
it.
Yeah, they could drop a couple of masses.
Mag 7 maybe. It's not completely out of the question on a map like Cobblestone and Drop Zone.
Yeah.
Or you can even use it on A-Long as well.
Even a scout for a chicken coop or something.
That's very true.
It's definitely usable. Mag 7, as you said, we see that picked up for platform a lot. Definitely JW pops up in mind for that.
And that is a tactical pause for Dignitas striker.
It looks like a tactical pause, and it obviously makes sense. They need more rounds than just 2 on the CT side, and they do have problems.
I'd just like to point out that Astralis aren't playing in this game, so if you end up betting on Astralis, I'm sorry to tell you, you lost your money.
Yeah.
So, unlucky.
Look at that, just cheeky little...
Definitely got blocked there.
Yeah,
I think exactly what's happening.
He probably realized. But this second frag was actually the one that I didn't expect.
And he got tagged, so he
Yeah,
was battling
exactly.
against the aim punch. That's really good spray control, considering the aim punch factor as well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, they do have only 2 rounds, and their biggest problem so far was the B site.
Mm-hmm.
We saw them pretty much leaving the platform completely open. And that's usually where you do have the op in the chicken coop and just taking care of that, or somebody playing close by, or boosted up on the tree. So that's something that Dignitas have been criticized for before, that they don't have this dedicated opper, and that could end up costing them on cobblestone, because we can see players like Guardian having loads of impact on this map.
So we were also theorizing, is it going to be Max 7s, is it going to be FAMAS, like what are they going to drop? P90s, 2 of them. It is still a very viable weapon at close range.
Yeah.
Can still rip on through enemies.
And it's very mobile as well.
Exactly. And it makes sense that Config would actually use that behind the box. Problem is that seems to be the only position he holds from platform. He doesn't really push, he doesn't hide in the same position that Taz has used so many times to his right-hand side from his perspective. This time Envyus, after pushing B so many times like the boy who cried wolf, now go A. Still a lot of time to play with though, Striker. They can still wrap themselves round.
It's getting a little dangerous. Just, wow,
So
what a
smart.
movement, yeah.
That is so intelligent. You could see MSL's cross. There was nowhere near, and Kenny S with a second entry onto long. And that could start to draw out Config. And in doing so, he could end up getting picked off here. Nice spray down from him onto Kiyashima. 3 on 3, but 2 of these players are P90. P90 is very good at close range, not so good at long range. So a retake on B would be a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, look at that. Happy actually did gain a lot of ground, and he's pretty sure that there's nobody on the B site. He has a player nearby, Rubino, who will end up calling that it is going to be the B site. It is going to be on him now.
One of the reasons why Cobblestone is very even, some would say T-side, it takes such a long time for the CTs to rotate themselves from one site to the other, and there's so many nooks and crannies to check out. Bomb has indeed been planted on B, and they've converted the P90 into the AWP now in the hands of Config. Kirby, Config need to retake this desperately, or this map could start to slip out of control, and they line up for Happy. You will see the peeping Toms sticking through the window and put them both down with ease. Envyus 7-2, Dignitas, completely trash economy.
And that's exactly why you have a player like Happy on your team. He didn't do that much in the beginning. He just gained the ground, that's it, and gave the information. He stayed in drop zone the whole time, just calling the information, allowing the bomb to actually go down, and he did end up picking the last three frags. But the biggest impact he had was actually the information just by dropping down to drop zone and being patient there.
Oh, goodness. I mean, it's a round where Dignitas really unlikely going to get anything from it, but Happy just wrecking you through the doors has got to hurt. That'll feel pretty bad. Nade over, going to do some serious damage. Nope, that's actually not, because Kirby got picked off on Kiyashima before the nade could land. And Envyus, as expected, will just romp on through onto the site, claim the frags, and get themselves an 8-2 lead. And Dignitas, if they could, let's just theorycraft a tiny bit. If they could get 7 rounds from this point, it's very unlikely. That's still completely doable.
Yeah, that's a great half. That would be a great half for them. There we go. Envyus, understandably being favored. Maybe not as much though, judging from Dignitas' previous results. They have seemed really strong.
I think overall that's quite fair.
Yeah.
These would be favourites,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
the way this game has started off. A map
Look
that
at
you thought
Apex.
Dignitas would probably end up taking, didn't take any of the maps, but Kirby is quite spray on point. Rubino is there to get the kill afterwards onto Apex, but here we go. Happy's lurking again in the smoke. He just loves to do this. MSL gets caught from behind. And with the bomb being planted on top of it, the woes continue to stack for Dignitas. Another 3-on-3 trade. They're going to have to convert one of these at some point if they want to bring themselves back here on the CT side of Cobblestone. And Tensky's going to do just that. 2 frags for him. Rubino comes in, and it's on Kenny S once again. And Rubino with a third. Full house of frags. Great retake from Dignitas. And that could definitely get them hyped.
Yeah, that definitely could. They also survived with 3 players, which May not seem like a big deal, but it is going to be a big deal if they end up saving 3 more guns in the next round and end up losing one of them. So it is going to make a lot of difference in terms of economy in the next, let's say, 2 rounds if they end up winning one and then losing the other.
That's the issue as well, that every single time they've picked up a CT round up until this point, they've never been able to get another one afterwards. It's been a round and then 3 rounds back to Envyus or more. So they've got to get that momentum going forward, otherwise they just keep breaking their own economy, and then we'll end up just bowing out of the game. It's the reason why they have lost so many rounds, because they're unable to get that momentum.
They need to pick up consecutive rounds, just only because of the economy. Momentum obviously is a big factor too, but they just need to have more than 3. And it is not going to happen with giving up a first frag to Kenny S.
Kenny S on 11 for 7, and the majority of his kills have been hugely impactful so far here in the first map out of a potential 5. Long again being aggressed on, this time Tensky. He is up for the fight, but just gets overran from danger, and that's the issue. When you lose one player on long, you kind of have to pull yourself back, but he was just in no man's land behind enemy lines. And now it's on Config, who is burning alive up on the balcony. 8 so much damage. That must be around 70 damage in total that he took from that.
Yep. I don't think there's a chance for Config here, even though he is pretty sneaky. And he could. Oh, no.
Okay, the player on the site is super low, and the last remaining terrorist is miles away, but Happy is making the trek right now, and the problem for Config is he assumes the last player was around long, and that would be incorrect. Happy, again, in the right place at the right time, and, well, we spoke about the curse of the CTs, and it continues to be a curse.
Yeah. They just need to pick up consecutive rounds. Look at that. No money whatsoever. They have 4.6 on Config due to saving a gun in the previous round. And it looks like Tensky's in some communication with the players. And Envyus getting slaughtered.
They do at least, oh, I was about to say, they do at least have a CZ in their hands, and then it was taken well and truly out of them. And SL really the only last hope for Dignitas, but he is dispatched with haste, and Dignitas have conceded a 10th round, so Envyus, whatever happens from this point, are going to be sat very tall and very pretty, going through onto that CT side. Dignitas again with a 4-spy. It's a pretty decent 4-buy overall, but it will include a P90 and a lack of grenades.
Yeah, there's a distinct lack of the grenades for sure. No Molotovs, so stalling out, for example, platform is going to be a problem. And only 2 smokes right now after that one being deployed right here on the drop zone as we see KRB trying to get boosted. But the problem is now Config actually ended up going down on platform. And again, it spreads the defense thin. 2 and 2 on each side. It's not the greatest thing you can have. There's no rotation as well. Either these 2 players step up and each get at least 1. One of them has to have at least 2 for them to have a chance.
Okay, there's the first one from Kirby, able to relocate as well. Back into drop zone. Rubino Black is getting destroyed by that Molotov on top of everything else. MBK puts him down, and so is Kirby. Dignitas just haven't been able to get going so far, Striker.
It's just hard for them to keep the defense on the B site. There was a couple of rounds on the A side, but the main problem was on B and especially platform. Either they completely left it open, which is obviously a problem if they end up going with both players there, or they lose a player like now. Config actually went down at first, and that's just a huge problem. As I said, there's no rotation suddenly because you don't have that connector player. Both players have to stay in B, while the 2 players have to stay in A. Or you can risk it. Or you can risk it and have like 3 people in B, leaving the A side with only 1 player. But it's just so hard for them when they lose that first pick.
And just to make matters that little bit worse, because again they haven't managed to get consecutive rounds in the final round of the half, we'll see them with only an M4, a Mag 7, a couple CZs and a Deagle.
I would like to see, well, obviously it's not going to happen now, but throughout the half, I would really like to see MSL trying the chicken coop or anything just to cover platform instead of being on middle the whole time. But again, that's the problem with Dignitas. They don't have a dedicated opera who is mobile around the map.
Apex looking to see the chicken get wrecked by a smoke grenade. That's a pretty interesting way to go, I suppose. But unable to get the kill afterwards. Dignitas just trying to hold on for dear life. Again, though, a lack of utility means they have to expend this a lot earlier than they were hoping for. No smokes in play anymore, have been thrown away. Incendiary on Rubino. And 4 players in total will be meeting in long fairly shortly, you have to assume. Apex is there, waiting. CZ Frag will at least connect from Rubino on the other side of the map, but Kenny S now, again, going to be looking to get those entries onto the long side. Unbeknownst to him, MSL is up in the boost, and, well, it has just become very much apparent as he will take down Kenny S. And managed to escape to live to fight another day. That's until MBK is there to meet him with the AK-47. And Envyus with 40 seconds now will be maneuvering themselves on towards the B side. However, Rubino is going to get the kill, and cleanly, so he has an AK and Kevlar, 2-on-2.
It's going to be conflict close by, though.
I was asking a lot for him to get any kills from there. Going to have to come down to Rubino, the line up for him. Oh, double kill, double headshot. Dignitas will at least get 4 rounds out the first half with a nice little clutch. But is it enough? They simply have to win this pistol round, otherwise Envyus will be moving to a very brisk 1-0 victory.
That was a pretty nice second frag. It took only 2 bullets, actually, to take down NBK.
Look at Rubino, man.
Feels like too little, too late. Look at that. Look at the scoreboard. First round, 5 rounds in a row for Envyus. Another round, 3 rounds. Another round, again, 3 rounds. No consecutive rounds, and it's just a huge problem for the CT side. The economy is just not there because of not being able to bank up on the economy a little bit. At least 2 in a row, so they can afford to eco once and then actually buy it fully. But we could see like 3 force buys without too much utility, without too many Molotovs. So that's just a huge problem.
Rubino, the only player after the first half to have a neutral kill-to-death ratio. Everyone else with negative kill-to-death ratio. Envyus are going to hope that that remains the case.
Happy does that all the time. It was pretty obvious for Dignitas that he's going to be there. Or at least there's a big chance that he will. But he still takes out Rubino because he actually went back, I believe, for that same boost.
I guess the simple fact is, even if you know where he is, if he lands that sexy 1 USP tap, then it simply doesn't matter, and the rest of the team is following suit. Every frag, a dome shot, config with his Glock, and, well, make that every single kill in the round is a USP headshot.
Those Kenny's 2-1 taps, I believe. Pretty tasty.
That's a pistol round that we said Dignitas simply had to win. Envyus take it with ease, and that map, well, this map, I should say, of Cobblestone, very likely now will just go into the hands of Envyus, and now we'll be moving to Mirage afterwards.
Yeah, this is a rough position for Dignitas. They will have to win this round pretty much, because they did end up force buying. They don't want to leave Envyus any more space, but it's going to be hard. It's especially on the A side. It's usually very hard to win those force buys here, unless they can pick up the first frag here.
Well, I really like that Envyus are playing a deep defense, using the long range of their M4s, knowing that at best case it's going to be like pistol upgrades, and that's where the M4 completely decimates you. Just playing the weapons to the perfection. You can see the first 2 kills go down. Dignitas like, screw this, boys. We cannot get onto A. Let's go B instead.
There's a player in drop zone, and they are going back to B. Kirishima is actually the one who's close with the MP9. That you can see how well they're using the weaponry that they have. The M4's long range, the MP9's on short range. That's exactly how you should use them. Ouch.
Ugh, that nade. Right to the fields. MBK with a double. Tensky. Now it's Tech 9 against the world. As you said, a must-win round for Dignitas has gone once again very easily to Envyus. At least Tensky is going to put a dent into that flawless round. Okay, he's made it a bit more interesting, but he still doesn't have the bomb. With 33 seconds in a 1 versus 3, it's just not going to happen. And Dignitas somewhat going out with a bit of a whimper on Cobblestone, it would seem.
That doesn't seem like the Dignitas that we're used to.
And this is one of their strongest maps as well.
This is I think the strongest map that they have, actually. And so far, not so good. Envyus just not leaving any space whatsoever. Now it's going to be a full eco. There's no way Dignitas can do any of this. The best chance that they can look at is a plant.
Oh no, if Happy drops down, man, the massacre is going to be real. Well, he's not required. Kiyashino and his 5-7 are up to the task. Now Happy finally decides to grace Dignitas with his presence. But he only gets 1 kill out of the trade. And I don't think I've ever seen Dignitas get this schooled on Cobblestone before.
Not in the last few months, at least. Definitely not online. They were very strong on it. And this really doesn't look good. This, if the previous round was a must-win, that force buy, then this, I don't know what this is. If they lose this one, it's just going to be over 16-4.
Well, this is sink or swim. This is potentially them drowning in Cobblestone. And you wonder what kind of impact that's going to have to the mentality going through onto Mirage if they do end up losing this 16-4 after saying, we're not scared of Envyus. Well, you damn well should be, Rubino.
Yeah, right now they should be.
However, Dignitas, maybe they can start to steer the ship away from the rocks. Again, though, Envyus are playing it passive on A. Kenny S has the AWP. It's always a terror to aggress onto a site where you know he is. They do have 3 smokes, though, and so they could try and smoke screen their way off onto the site and try and get the execute down. But if one of those smokes is lax, then Envyus will be up to the challenge, you have to assume.
Yeah, you have to assume that. It's a very slow round from Dignitas. All 5 players towards the A site.
Okay, here we go. Kenny S is going to get the first pick. The smokes have landed. They have 1 still left. It can be thrown on doors once these ones dissipate, but Kenny S is putting down the pain. 2 kills for nearly a third, but cut off 1 head. And more Envyus players will follow. Tensky on for the clutch, but there's Happy, and Envyus have managed to repel the aggression once more. And Dignitas will be into a poor force buy in what could be the last round of Cobblestone.
Yeah, about 3k or so on every player of Dignitas. That's just not a good buy. 1 AK with a small vest and 4 Tech 9. It's a lot of utility. There could be a chance on this the site that they're heading into. It looks like a rush, to be fair.
Yeah, the strats haven't worked. Just go full-on aggression. These grenades are cutting them down. Happy with 3. He's going to be putting this map to bed. 16-4, Cobblestone goes. And for me, and we said this in the build-up to the game, this is the map I thought Dignitas had the best chance of winning against Envyus.
Yeah, pretty much. Mirage is super hard for them.